Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's Chris again. I am back in this 2019 Freightliner Cascadia Evolution. Now, this is a truck that I purchased some years back, and it's been on the road across the country making money. This truck has been returned back at our yard, and it's going to be utilized today to haul a number of trailers from a local supplier, a local shipper here, across back into a local delivery site. This truck has been, like I said, across the country. We have had a number of upgrades done on this truck, from the airbags to the cab bags to the shocks to the brake drums, to brand new tires on it, including a variation of engine compartment issues like the injector seals, the injector pass-throughs. We've done some work on it, essentially. Oh yeah, and the DEF filters have been replaced and adjusted, as well as the cabin air filter, and I believe we had an alignment done as well. Some mechanical things that needed to be taken care of as it progressed on the road from coast to coast. Now, I'm heading down southbound to Albany on behalf of TNT Trailers, who has subscribed or dispatched us or provided us with a brokered list of trailers needed to be transported from Albany, Oregon to Troutdale, Oregon. These are trailers that have been purchased from a company called CRSD, and TNT Trailers being a dealership, a service shop in Troutdale, Oregon, has purchased this grouping of trailers from CRSD, and now they're going to, I guess, sell them out to customers. And so we are one of the carriers that are established with TNT Trailers, and we are the company that was assigned these 8 trailers to be hauled back from Albany to Troutdale. So this is a simple local broker deal for 8 trailers. Generally, we go coast to coast, with larger units, full size, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46,000 pounds, and I'm assuming these trailers are all empty, but maybe lack in maintenance. So a lot of detail needs to be given to the pre-trip to ensure that the trailers can make their path. It's only, less than 150 mile from their destination, but generally those are the most concerning to deal with, considering they have been out of service for some time, and hopefully they're in service now or have been recently DOT inspected. Either way, this is the workload for today. And so if you haven't seen me on the internet or on YouTube, I've been out of work for a while, basically dispatching and managing and brokering the dispatch loads that we have, the drivers that we have, the owner-operators that we have. So I've been sitting behind the computer typing and talking to brokers and figuring out loads and computing and calculating loads and basically sitting in our office doing a lot of computer work. So here we are in Albany, Oregon. First trailer unit is 1492 on the list. We just pre-tripped it. We hooked up to it as we normally do. Of course, reminding everyone, glad hands, emergency and service lines for coupling the glad hands, power, electrical that is. Of course, making certain that your fifth wheel is connected properly and that you inspect visually the kingpin at all times to make sure it's locked around the bolt itself. We do that every single time. Landing gears are up. Of course, we inspect the condition of the trailer on the outside for, holes, dings, and you can see there's some right up there, some old wear and tear from this trailer being used over the years. making certain that the lights are operational. Marker lights, this one is still holding out. The signal lights, the marker, the rear lights are crucial. So this is a 53-foot trailer that's being sold, and now we're going to haul it. The axles are shifted all the way to the back, so we're not going to mess with those. The tires are inflated properly. I checked the pressure. Side marker lights are blinking. Landing gear's up. My truck's ready to go. We're going to go and get the paperwork for this unit. Again, this is item number 1492, as it says right there. And we also verified that with the inspection sticker and with the insurance certificate that's inside the trailer. And inside the trailer, and I'll show you guys this, you must have this if it's not on the front of the trailer, which generally there's an inspection outside of the GPS tracker here. There's usually a little inspections box where your registration paperwork is. If it's not there, you'd find inside the back of the trailer, and in this case it is, and here it is. That's the permanent trailer identification card with the VIN number and the unit number, the date and the expiration date. And of course you must inspect the inside as well to make sure there's no, of course, palletized loads or cargo still visible if you're picking up an empty trailer. And so this is a pretty simple hook and drop. And then, oh, by the way, make sure that the lock on the bottom and the top is latched in. Otherwise, these doors remain not properly secured. And so try and do this with one hand is a bit of pain. There you go. Just got it done. Locked up the top, locked the bottom. Second door is locked. We're not going to put a seal or a chain, but because it's just getting delivered. The doors, making sure the hinges are in place, not damaged. And then, of course, the outside condition of the trailer. Make sure if you see something, in this case, these tires are definitely worn out, but there's a lot of grease on them. But if you see something on the trailer itself, you must identify that immediately on the spot. Otherwise, it's your responsibility. And so here we are, ready to go.
Last night, and whether it be for a hiding spot, a car, or food, authorities do not want to give him any more opportunities. As for that gun that Cavalcante now has, authorities say that he has killed twice before, and he is desperate enough to use that weapon. Brett.
Thank you. On the scene. Thank you. Tech stocks set Wall Street down today. The Dow lost 18, the S&P 500 was up 26, and Nasdaq fell 144. Up next, the CEO of Ford Motor Company on strike negotiations with the UAW and the future of his business in electric vehicles.
Commercial-free on Apple Podcasts with Fox News Podcasts Plus. From Dana Freeman, Kennedy, Ben Domenech, the Duffys, and many more. Subscribe now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com. The Fox News Rundown, a contrast of perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Your daily dose of news twice a day. Featuring insight from top newsmakers, reporters, and Fox News contributors. Listen and subscribe now by going to
RSD in Albany picking up another trailer. This is 2665 unit. I just finished. I always say we just, but I refer to myself, me, myself, and I. Anyway, I don't know why I keep doing that. It's my business model formation of speech, which is not necessarily accurate because there's no we, just me. So myself and I just pre-tripped this trailer. There is a defective sticker. This is a sold item. Says passenger side body lower damage inside skid panel. So of course I checked the tire pressure on the back of I checked the lights, but I want to show you guys what I'm picking up. This unit is a damaged unit. It's sold, and I don't know if you can see from the bulk right back here. Let me see if I yeah, it looks like initially right here, the load itself, obviously you can see that the frame is and the paneling is pushed out. So whatever happened inside, meaning the pallets or the loading of the pallets pushed into the belly of the unit itself, pushed the material outwards and causes beveling or this bowing here, which is the damage caused at some point while it was being used. This unit also has a number of other imperfections. Obviously, it's been dented at the top, dented on the sides. It's got numerous scratches and scrapes. You know, it is a for sale or is a sold item, as I guess as TNT negotiated for it. The tires are good. You know, check the pressure on the tires, check the lights already. But again, it's another 53-foot dry van with bay doors. The hinges on the doors are fine. I've already inspected the interior. It's got no cargo, and it doesn't seem to be leaking anything. It's a little dirty. Tire pressure's good on all dualies on the back side. The lights are good. The marker lights at the top. You know, we got mud flaps in the back. And we're not going to secure this load either. Again, this is an empty unit. The hinges on the doors are fine. You know, we checked the inspection sticker, the registration, the VIN number. All that is good. So this other unit is going to Troutdale, Oregon. In this case also, you can see the axles in the back are shifted all the way to the back. We're not going to adjust that either. And there's a reason for my, unless it's needed, I don't adjust anything, especially something that's been purchased recently and there's conditions unknown. So axles are as they are found. If I move those axles back and forth and there's a problem, considering this is a brand new purchase, I don't want to risk it. So that's why I tend to leave it. In Oregon, the rule is, you know, you can run them all the way back, you can run them all the way forward, you can run them in the middle. It's not really a major concern. Generally, they're designed that way so you can reach the dock better and adjust of course, the weight on the trailer. That's why you have the rear axles interchangeable or shifting. In this case, I'm not going to mess with the trailer considering it's an older trailer. So, for that, all that said, the second trailer today, we're going to relocate it back to Troutdale. It's ready, pre-trip, ready to go. I just got to get the paperwork and I'm on my way. Well, just like that, heading northbound on I-5, we experienced our problem with this trailer. Let me ask you this. What is
speed check reported ahead on I-5 North.
What is one of the scariest moments that you can experience as a truck driver? Well, I've been down this road a number of times, and for me, it's losing air pressure. Losing air pressure at a high rated amount of time, meaning quickly. Well, in this case, it's not very quickly, but it is somewhat of a continuous rate. After leaving and heading up northbound onto the freeway, a few minutes after, well, maybe 30 minutes after departing from that location, I experienced and started hearing the scariest sound you can hear in a truck. That's the loss of air. And so, of course, my emergency line here in the cab starts whistling, and immediately I notice that I'm losing air somewhere. I'm looking at my tanks, and they're constantly rebuilding the air pressure, and I noticed that, hey, I'm definitely losing air. So immediately I pulled over, inspected, started paying attention, listening for the sound, and I'm hearing a tremendous amount of air escaping in the rear of the trailer. I noticed that my pressure of air is staying, meaning that I'm not losing faster than I can rebuild by the compressor. So my job is to get it to its destination back at the service shop, and of course identify the condition of this air leak. But with the air leak escaping and having to watch and constantly monitor my air gauges, I am always on the guard. And so this is a scary moment for every truck driver when you notice that you have an air leak and you're losing air. I've been down this road a number of times. In some cases, I've lost air within 5 seconds. I had a complete lockup, and in some cases like this, the air is escaping and the governor on the compressor is rebuilding sufficient enough air to actually sustain and allow me to continue on the route. Now, I could go back out there in the middle of this night, and believe it is dark out there. You can't see because you're looking at the sky in the background, but it is dark. I could go out there and find the air line, and clip it and actually tape it or bend it in place, and then that will stop the air leak. So with that in mind, without actually going and bending climbing underneath the truck, which I have a hard time doing with my back, I am playing safe. I'm riding slow. I'm driving at a slower speed than most traffic. I'm using my four ways. I'm giving myself a constant space around the truck, so if I need to slow down and stop at a high rated speed, meaning fast, I will hopefully stop fast and be out of the way. This is the job of a recovery specialist, tow truck driver, or a truck driver that has a need to recover vehicles or trailers that are in somewhat of a defective order, and mechanically still make them travel on the roadway safely. So that's what I'm doing. I'm managing my risk right now and safely trying to continue on my way by observing the speed, observing the pressure buildup, observing all the conditions around me, including traffic. And if the risk increases past the point of control, I'm obviously going to stop and pull over and hopefully do that quite quickly, because air escaping is never a good thing. Compressors are holding up. I've been monitoring my pressure constantly. What you don't want to have is air escaping on your brakes. The actual brakes themselves, once you lose air, you're at the mercy of the hole and or the leak itself, and that could be instant lockup, and that is a terrible thing to experience. I've been down that road with just a bobtail and my tires locked up in a matter of 5 to 10 seconds. Don't want to experience that with this, but I do need to make certain that I don't leak enough air out of my system that I'm going to lock up my wheels, right? So that's the case here. I am approximately an hour away from my destination in heavy amounts of traffic, heading I-5 northbound. I will be stopping to check the air leak to see if it's gone worse or it stays the same, and hopefully it's stayed the same. But this is the condition of my travels at this time. I've been down this road a few different times, and I have managed the risk well, got the unit at its destination. Definitely you don't want to do this going down the hills, applying the brakes. So luckily this valley, this path here from, I guess from Albany to Portland, it's pretty flat ground and it's not mountainous. So it's just simple, you know, A to B with the use of Jake brake up and down or down these small valleys and not having to depend on the brakes. Now when you apply your brake pedal, you're extinguishing or you're throwing out air from your chambers, and that increases the risk of you losing high amounts of air from your chambers. And what that means is that there's a very good risk that you're going to lose your air, and the tires will lock up. So you definitely don't want to use your brakes when you start losing air. In this case, I am using my Jake brakes on the valleys and not even touching the brake lines unless I need to stop. And that would be a complete stop, and then anyway, I'm watching my blinkers here and trying to figure out what it is I need to do. Looks like the scale house, hopefully the scale house is closed, and I'm getting a beeping light here on my transponder. Considering that my transponder is telling me to stop, I may have to pull out running four ways. That may be a necessity as well. Air brakes working, but airlines leaking. So that said, you have to be really careful when you start losing, if you lose air. Generally speaking, service it at the shop if you can. If you can manage the travel safely, go ahead and do so. But always pay attention to air escaping your vehicle and treat it very, very, very important. So I'm outside right now of the truck, as you can see, at a rest area. I'm going to walk back to the trailer, and I want to show you where my air leak is. You look behind, you look underneath, there's a line right there disconnected, right there. And if you can see that, let me, there it is, right there. Hopefully it's a simple fix. I gotta climb between the axles and make that happen. So I'm not sure what to do here. This is the, there are two airlines emergency lines that come together here. Obviously I turned the power off or the airline off right now, so the airbags are not leaking, but this is my culprit. Initially I thought it was this airbag, which, as you can see, there's a little rubber seal. I thought this is where the leak was coming from. So I'm not sure what to do. I think this has something to do with the airlines and the airbags inflating and deflating, but there's an in-between piece that's missing, and I don't know where that is at this point, and there's no way to connect it. So what do we do here? Well, we're going to try to see if we can plug them up. One thing I always recommend is have zip ties, have tools with you at all times. In this case, I've got my side compartment here. Hopefully my zip ties are still in here. Looks like I got some black zip ties. I'm going to use those zip ties to actually bind those two lines, so that way they're squished together and they don't leak air. Hopefully we can cause a resistance better than currently, so that way the air continuously builds in the tanks. So we're going to use these black zip lines that I've got here. We're going to go back underneath the trailer and then bind those two lines until they get to service, and hopefully that temporarily stops the leak. Well, here I am again underneath the truck. Here are my zip lines. hopefully these are going to work out for me. We're going to see if it works. Really tight underneath here with the airbags, and I can't film at the same time, but here's the loose pieces. We're going to bind those and hopefully stop the air from leaking. What we've done here is we have zip tied these lines that don't have a coupling device in between together. Hopefully that binds to put pressure on the airline so that way the air stops escaping so we can move the trailer to its destination. This is the best I can do with the tools I've got. We'll see if that stops some of that air from escaping. We tightened these guys as best as we could, and then we attached it to this little frame here, so it's not going to fly up in the wind, and they're going to be supported there until the service at home or at the yard at his destination. But this is what we did on the road. This is called a service call. We're to look literally underneath the frames of the trailer. This is a TNT trailer that was just recently purchased, and as you've seen in the video, I documented the fact that air leaks on the way. This is where it's suspected of leaking from. Also the airbag, it's unclear if the airbag is also leaking, but this was definitely an issue right off the bat. Either the couple or the bolt or the washer that connected these two pieces flew out at some point or came disconnected on the road and it began leaking profusely, or this airbag is leaking profusely. But either one, it's one of those. So let's see if we fix the leak now. Well, I still hear a little bit of air escaping, not as much. I'm actually sure, so I gotta climb back in there. Actually, I hear no air escaping here, but again, I didn't turn the compressor on, just released the brakes. Hopefully the truck stays full, holding the trailer still, because there's no brakes on the trailer at this time. I'm gonna go turn the compressor on to see if air is gonna continue escaping, but at this point, there's no air escaping from these lines. Once again, compressor is on, the engine is running. There is no air escaping from the lines at this time. Pressure should be building up, and we should be able to make it back to the yard and let TNT service these lines further. Okay, my air lines are showing 100 psi right now and staying above that just slightly, so air pressure is being built up. Hopefully it's staying put. The trailer wheels are rolling, and so both airlines are emergency and service brake is on or off, that is, and we are going to roll to see how we're going to do. But it looks like the compressor is building up, and I don't hear any air escaping, and that's good. We brought this unit 2665 back to TNT trailers here. It is delivered. Now we're going to disconnect it, obviously, and leave it behind and go possibly take another unit. As you've seen on the route, it had a problem that we needed to fix, a airline problem that needed to be kept on route, otherwise we would have not made it because it was leaking air. So that's the case sometimes with some of these bad trailers or old trailers. Unfortunately, you got to do what you can en route. Here's my fifth wheel plate. Landing gear's down. Trailer's disconnected. And we're going to pull the truck from underneath it right now.